My name is Zandrea Bailey. I'm 24. I have systematic lupus. Life before lupus was awesome. University days, played football, partied, drinking, friends, carnival, everything was awesome. And then in 2012, I began feeling extremely weak. And I went to the UE hospital and they diagnosed me with dengue fever. So I was told to take a break from work and relax, drink a lot of water so it could come out of my system. So I went home and my body just started to deteriorate from there. About 3 weeks after that, I could not keep any food down and I just continued to get very, very weak. Severely ill, couldn't stand on my own, could hardly walk. And one night I was home in bed and I called my dad and I told him that I was feeling really, really off. Something was going on. I could hardly feel my feet and my skin was scaling. So I told him I was feeling very dehydrated and I needed to go to the hospital. So he brought me to the hospital just to get some dehydration fluid. We didn't think it was anything too serious. So when we finally got to see the doctor, he told me that he wanted to run some tests on my liver and my kidneys. After being there for about 3-4 hours, he came back and he said, well, Miss Bailey, we have to admit you because both your kidneys are failing. So I went over to be admitted, but then I was there waiting for another 5 hours, so my father decided that he was going to take me home. So I went home. Fortunately, I was to see a hematologist in Kingston the next day. However, when I woke up that morning, I could not walk. I could not feel anything from my waist down. So we went into Kingston and saw the hematologist. She said to me that there's a virus fighting your system, but I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to send you to do some follow-up tests on your kidneys and your livers just across the road. So when I went to the lab and they were trying to get blood to do the test, there was no blood coming out of my body. And my fingertips got blue and my toes got blue and I started to just throw up. So the lab technician said they should rush me to the nearest hospital. So we went to the UE hospital. They said they weren't admitting any patients that day because the students were doing exams. And so we went to Medical Associates and they said it was $75,000 per night and $75,000 to get treatment started. So my father decided to take me to the Kingston Public Hospital. Luckily, when I finally got on the ward at Kingston Public Hospital, the doctor on the ward was a friend of mine from university, Rashawn Samuels, and I explained to him what was happening in my body. So he immediately started pumping me with some steroids, liquid steroids, in the form of an IV. The next morning, when the senior doctors came to my bed, they told me that if he hadn't started pumping me with the steroids, I would have died that night. After being in the hospital for 3 weeks, I was diagnosed with SLE, systematic lupus, and that caused my kidneys to fail, as well as I couldn't walk. My spine nerves were damaged, my leg nerves were damaged, and all the nerves in my body were damaged. I had to do blood transfusions, and they wanted to do a kidney biopsy, but luckily, I didn't have to get to that stage. Both my kidneys healed before I left KPH. So I guess I'm a lucky one. I was discharged on Christmas Eve. I went home for Christmas, all my family came on my bed and had family dinner for Christmas that year. I still couldn't walk, and so my dad slept on my bed every night to help me to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And one day he just said to me, it's time for you to walk again. So he lifted me up and we practiced walking. I did no physiotherapy at all. So that was another blessing. So finally I started walking on my own and being able to help myself again. So I decided that I'm going to go after everything that I ever wanted to do in life. So I gained 60 pounds because of the steroid medications that I was taking. So I decided that I was going to enter a Miss Jamaica competition this year. And so I had to get in shape. So I lost those 60 pounds and I auditioned at 142 pounds for Miss Jamaica Universe, and I was selected as one of the finalists. And during the time of the pageant, I lost 12 pounds, and I wore 5-inch heels every day for training, and I was a top 10 finalist in the show. So I guess all you have to do is follow through with your dreams. No matter what your situation is, it's possible, because it was possible for me. And you just have to live every day as if it's your last. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but that's my motivation.